Hello, everybody. My name is Marco Barilla, and welcome finally back to the Barilla Show podcast. I am your lovely, lovely host, Marco Barilla. Now, I know what some of y'all guys are thinking. Why have you have not posted a video since 1 month ago? Holy, I didn't even realize it was 1 month ago. And to that, I apologize. If you guys have been following me on the social medias, in which if you guys are not, then what are you doing there? You should go definitely go follow me. If you guys are listening on YouTube, it'll probably be in the link in the description. If you're listening on SoundCloud or Spotify, it'll probably be in my bio. You guys can go follow me on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify. Um, what else? You can follow me on the Instagram, the TikTok, the Twitter. I said TikTok. Yes, I did. TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. So yeah, there's a lot of places to follow me. But if you guys been paying attention, I said that I've been dealing with a lot of personal stuff lately, and that is indeed true. I'm not gonna get too many detail about it, but focusing on school, focusing on myself and family business, it's been pretty hard lately to focus on this, because when I originally started this in September, I was expecting to get through school a little early. I would have time to film and produce and edit the podcast, but these past couple of weeks have been a pain in my ass, school wise and mentally wise. But yeah, like I'm not trying to make any excuses. This is actually what I have been going through, and it's not easy, but I'm definitely finding my way through. Um, yeah, school is way harder. Um, school is way harder. Um, I don't know why I'm a lost of words. I forgot it. But yeah, school is 10 times worse than I thought it would. A lot more work to do, a lot more projects. It's the same stuff every day. I have to help my mom around the house every single day, and that's a burden. But you know, it can get it can get hard and definitely time consuming, which takes less time for me to obviously film and edit the podcast. But um I've sort of thought to myself is that I need to start prioritizing my priorities. I need to start getting in check. So I am gonna start producing every episode every Friday now. I think I should be done for a little bit. I need to take a little break from the podcast, unfortunately, and I'm very very sorry for my loyal viewers or listeners out there who were podcastless throughout me. I got a lot of questions. Oh, Marco, what happened to the podcast? Whatever happened to that? When's the next episode, Marco? And yes, I know you guys. This I don't know how long this episode's gonna turn out. I mean, this is just like a welcome back episode, and this is an reminder that yes, I will start making episodes. I'm also planning to stream a lot more often, whether that be just chatting, um, playing some MLB The Show or Overwatch or Fortnite with the boys, whatever comes up. But yeah. So I'm saying I'm so sorry you guys had to wait this long, but I am this is the official return of ya boy in the podcast. So without further ado, let's get started. And like I said before, guys, make sure you guys follow on the socials, stay connected. If anything comes up like this, I need to tell you guys, hey, I'm not making an episode this weekend because of this, blah blah blah. You guys should be noticing instead of just wondering, like, hey, why isn't Mark uploading a video today? Well, now you know. But yeah, so come down to my understanding that a special little holiday passed by called Halloween. Now I know at the time of recording this, it's Thursday the 4th of November, and of course I was gone for the week. I was actually gone for the whole weekend of November. For there was I went to my friend Nico, who's on that who's on the show, of course. I went to his house and a couple other friends. I slept over for a bit. Had a Halloween party. We went trick or treating. I slept over the house. It was so fun. Yeah, I needed it. It was glad to have a little hangout. I especially I haven't seen these people in person for a while because I've been all over the place. But it was nice to go see them again. Um, if you guys also were paying attention on my social medias, including my personal, which if you guys are not following, follow my personal social medias. I was Negan for Halloween. I was if you guys don't know who Negan is, if you guys watch The Walking Dead or just read the comic books, he's basically like a badass. He's basically In my opinion, I think he's one of my favorite Walking Dead characters. I think he's better than Rick, especially how Rick hasn't been on the show since like a year or two now. I have no clue. Um, yeah, big dude with like a leather jacket and a bat. I think, to be honest with you, I didn't have no costume, and I think it wasn't until like a day or two before Halloween. I was like, hey, you know what? I got because my parents got me this plastic foamy-ish replica of Lucille, which is in the comic books and show, he names a wooden bat with barbed wire Lucille after his wife. So they gave me a replica for Halloween Christmas last year, and I was like, wait, I have a leather jacket, I have leather gloves, I got some cool boots and some jeans, and I was like, you know what, kind of like a last second dollar store tree costume, but honestly, it turned out really good. I really liked the way it turned out. It was a pain in the ass to trick or treat with those boots, so I just switched out with my regular sneakers, but I don't think anyone really cared. But yeah, I really rocked the costume. I love Negan. Shout out to Jeffrey Dean Morgan, the actor who plays him in the show. I love him. He's such a good actor, and he played Negan perfectly. But yeah, it was so delicious. It was so delicious. What the hell am I saying? Well, no, it was delicious. The candy I got, which by the way, I have not finished yet. I don't know why I do this to myself every year, but after I go trick or treating with some friends or by myself, I barely almost never finish the candy. Like the candy will sit in my closet, my pantry for like months, and I wouldn't it would go stale or bad, and then it's just thrown away. But I think I don't know, cause I got a lot. Me and my friend. Well, it was mostly 4 people. Well, actually three, including myself. Then we're trick or treating. Me, my friend Nico, which you guys know, my friend John, and my friend Cody. Shout out to Cody. Shout out to all of them actually. Why not? Um, yeah, I haven't seen my friend Cody in a while in person. He's been busy, with work and personal issues. Same with well, not work, but same. I've been busy with school and personal issues as well. But it was really nice to see them in person. So we went out. Me and John went trick or treating the most. They were just messing around, walking with us. I got to hang out at my friend's house. As I said before, I slept over because why the hell not? um, but yeah, I got such delicious candy. I don't know why, but maybe I think the reason the older I get, I feel like the more better candy they're handing out because they hooked me up. One of the houses I stopped by at jelly fruit. Like it was trending on TikTok in 2020. Where like everyone would like bite these plastic things, and for some fucking dumb reason, the jelly would go the opposite way instead of your mouth. It was all I can't show you, but like it was all over. Um, it was all over TikTok, and I got one. Some people were giving out full bags of chips. Um, I got a full container instead of the little shitty for those who don't know, one of my favorite candies, and personally a really underrated candy, is Whoppers. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know what's inside, but it's like sweet. I think it's like milk, like sweet milk or something like that, covered in chocolate. Instead of giving me, because usually the real Halloween to go thing is like a little plastic bag with 3 of those little ball candies. And for personally, why the hell would anyone think about that? That's the cheapest shit ever. But this guy was giving out full on like boxes of of Whoppers, and he hooked me up. But yeah, and I got Crunch, Nestle Crunch, Snickers, Twix, my favorite candy bar of all time, and another underrated candy, Milky Way. You can fight me on that because Milky Way is delicious. It's basically um caramel and chocolate. It's so good. Kit Kats, Hershey bars, and Reese's. Personally, this is a little hot take, and I'm sorry if I offend anybody, but I'm not too crazy about peanut butter. I don't hate it. If they have it, probably depends on my mood to the day. Cause like I've had peanut butter before, I'm not allergic to it, so I technically I can have it anytime I want. But for the time being, like I just don't. I'm not crazy about it. There's one time my teacher brought like peanut butter and chocolate cookies, which were actually really delicious, and I liked it. So I just gave all my Reese's Pieces and all that to my mom, because my mom is a peanut butter crazy person, I guess you could say. But yeah, they hooked me up with all the good stuff, man. I'm telling you, I'm telling you. They hooked me up. But I guess the question I got is, I mean, what were you guys for Halloween? Write down in the comments down below. If you guys listen to this on Twitter, if you guys are listening to this on Spotify or SoundCloud, write down in the comments or tag me in a post or ran in the DMs of the social medias. If you guys listen on YouTube, leave it down in the comments down below. What were you guys for Halloween? I'm really looking to hear what you guys were, because like many of my friends were random people. But like I was rocking my Negan, as I said before. Got my badass leather jacket. Oh, and don't get me started on this, because I'm a big guy, and like don't get me wrong, I don't know why, since you guys my parents, since I was a little kid, I have always had a fascination with like leather jackets. I thought, well, one, it was comfortable. Two, it felt good, the leather, obviously, and three, it is like reminds of a badass, like a high school jock, or like the class badass would always wear like a leather jacket and shit. So like I always liked it, and don't get me wrong, I was like, as you saw in the picture of my Halloween costume, I was vibing and rocking with my leather jacket. But holy cow, I was sweating. I was, especially because we walked block after block after block. I had my Apple Watch, but I didn't record how many blocks I did, but it was a lot. Especially, I had to wear jeans, which usually never near jeans. People who know me personally always know that I wear shorts. I would occasionally wear when I say rare, I can't speak. I would usually wear sweatpants occasionally. It's really rarely though. But I was sweating beyond belief with my my jeans, and especially with those boots. Like they were like my nono gave it to me. Uh, Italian leather from Italy. These boots had like little heels on them, and I kind of want to like match. I literally had the red scarf too. For the guys who know, such a picture of Negan from The Walking Dead. And sometimes you have like a red thing around his neck. I had like a little bandana that I wrapped around my neck. And obviously he had boots. So I was, I have these black. I don't have any black boots. The only boots I really have are rain boots and Tim's. So I was like, I know this fits enough. Like they're comfortable to walk around for a little bit and sit down, but if I'm walking block after block with these shit, oh my god, I don't know how you ladies fucking wear heels for hours on end. That shit is hurt. That hurt. It's basically I shot cause I literally packed my sneakers in my bag. I had a bag like my drink and all that just in case I got thirsty. And I knew, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely ain't gonna wear these heels for the remainder of my boots for the remainder of this thing. So I sat down, I replaced my boots with my sneakers, and but like I was sweating beyond belief. I can't describe how I can't describe how bad it was. But Halloween was very beautiful. Okay, the thing is, I don't know how many more years of this I have left. You know, I'm getting older and older. I like, I got lucky to go out with my friends to go trick or treating. I wasn't intending to go trick or treating. I just wanted to hang out with my friends because I was like last year in 2020, I didn't go out. I was just at home relaxing and giving out candy to the kids to stop by, which really bummed me out because last year Halloween Halloween was on the Saturday, which is perfect. And plus, it was a full moon. But since like last year, October was like still really terrified of COVID and all that, no one was like, no one really knew what to do. Didn't want to go out to go trick or treating because of COVID. So, but there were a lot of kids this year. A lot. Um, each street had a lot of kids. My parents, who were at home when I was trick or treating with my friends, we usually never get any kids on my block or any trick or treats on my block for the first time in years. And I say years because this is true. We ran out of candy and we had to go into emergency pantry. My mom had to get rid of her Kit Kats that she loves. My mom apparently used my Takis as a trick or treating option. I never thought, because maybe because they did miss last year, because they missed out on an opportunity to go trick or treating a lot, because in this, like, basically, oh, I didn't get to go trick or treating last year, so I'm gonna trick or treat the hell out of next year. And one thing led to another, and candy selling out. Speaking of selling out, I've been else noticing about this food shortage. Well, it's not only food; it's everything. It's unbelievable. I went to my local Mexican restaurant a couple days ago, and I ordered a steak and chicken fajita. I love fajitas. Oh, I can go for fajita. But one thing we noticed on the menu, it said that due to the steak and meat shortage, we're jacking up the prices. I'm like, well, that's fucking stupid. So I got the steak and chicken, right? It came, looked delicious, smelled amazing. And usually, if you guys usually go to Mexican restaurants a lot, if you get a sizzling fajita, obviously you have the steak, chicken, or whatever meat you got, onions and peppers, and then the next to be with the pinto beans or the deep deep fried beans and the rice. When I tell you this, and I'm not exaggerating, they actually cheat me out all my shit, all my steak and shit. It was ridiculous. Literally spent 5 minutes rumbling through all the onions and peppers, and basically, I'm not sure if my parents got charged, but I thought I was gonna get scammed. They were gonna get scammed. We're paying for steak and chicken, and we're not getting it. We're basically just getting onions and peppers. If I want onions and peppers, then I'll get like a vegetarian fajita. But obviously I'm not a vegetarian, so I like my steak and chicken. And no, I'm not saying there wasn't any, but the one that they were so small, thin cut. It's like it's the last steak and chicken in the world, and they're just preserving it. And it's not just food, like I said. I heard that paper towels are currently very minimal, just like prime COVID in March of 2020. Same with the whole thing with toilet paper and um, ironically enough, pork roll. I love pork roll for like a breakfast meat. That shit sold out. Um, it's just everything, and I'm not sure why. I think my mother explained to me the how nobody wants to work, and the reason why they have all these shipments of stuff, but no one's there to work, so it's taking forever, or they're not doing it. I'm not sure. I have noticed that how there's a shortage of workers. Like literally, like I go to every restaurant or store, and there's always a help wanted sign. I don't know why. Maybe because I think this is another thing that my parents told me. I think my dad told me is that for people who I think since COVID happened in March, it's not gone, but still, when it first originated in March or like late 2019, whatever, and people were sent home, just the COVID protocol, you daily they get paid from home because obviously they need to get paid. If they don't get paid, then they can't pay from stuff at home, especially in a crisis like COVID-19 and shit. So people are just basically sitting at home and getting paid, and they're probably like, "Oh, well, I'm getting paid for sitting at home, so why would I need to go back to work?" That's just a theory. I'm not sure if that's true or not. It scares, and I don't know why there's a shortage of everything. And it's really ticking me off. Like I wouldn't be surprised if there was a shortage of oxygen. Lack of trees, some shit. It's ridiculous. There's a shortage on basically everything. There's a shortage of water. There's a shortage of this and that. I don't know why why the hell that happened. Um, but yeah, it's shortage after shortages. But a lot of things happened. Another note, a lot of things happened while I was away for my break from the podcast. Um, I went to camp. Shout out to Camp Kessim. If you guys follow me on my personal social medias, I occasionally people know me personally. I know that I talk about Camp Kessim a lot. Shout out to them. They're obviously I'm not sponsored by them, but but they're a nonprofit organization or every summer. Well, not every summer. It's full year round, but usually there's like thousands and thousands of camps around the United States that allow kids to go to camp, and usually in the summer for the kid has been affected by cancer, rather that be a friend, family member, or friends, or sometimes them themselves are affected by cancer. They able to go to this place and can go camping for a week. I've been going there for roughly around 8 years. Since 2015, I believe I've been going to this camp. And when it's such a fun experience. I can't praise Kesem enough for what they have done for me and my family. It's made me more comfortable of talking to people outside of my comfort zone. It makes me I and all these other I've met so many lifetime friends who I'm probably gonna be friends for years and years, and I've met so many great people. And keep in mind, all these counselors that have volunteered at this camp are all college students. For example, the one I go to near me goes to University of Pennsylvania or UPenn, I suppose. I'm not sure of the difference, but there's so many freaking nice people who go there. And shout out to those counselors. Like they're probably like, oh, it's just a camp. What's the difference between this camp and like any other ordinary sleepaway camp? There is a big difference, and I can't praise enough. You have to be there to understand the big difference between an ordinary camp and Camp Kesem. All these kids have something special in them. They instead of spending their summer working on schoolwork or hanging out with their friends or at their frat house or whatever they're doing, they decided, hey, I'm gonna give my time to these kids and I'm gonna be there for them. I'm gonna plan the best experience for them, and they nail it every single year. I can't praise them enough. Um, but yeah, shout out to Kep Kesem. It's an amazing place. If you guys know anybody who's been affected by cancer, or a family member, or a friend, I highly recommend to go there. It's an amazing experience. Meet new friends. Like I said before, I'm obviously not sponsored by them, and this is a personal recommendation from a person who's been going there for years. Just check them out; they're amazing. Sorry about that. Unfortunately, though, on the past 2-ish years, the 2021 summer and the 2020 summer, COVID has been a big ass pain in the issue. Obviously I don't need y'all to tell you that. Um, but so instead of being instead of being in in person camp like that usually is every year, they opted out to do a virtual 2021 camp. So what basically how that works is that for 1 week, like a normal camp custom session, instead of waking up in a nice cabin or just doing any of the fun stuff like messy Olympics, sports, you basically get out of bed and go on Zoom. Yes, Zoom. From a high school student, I know way too much and have too much experience with Zoom. So I was so bummed out when I first heard that it was on Zoom. I like, I like for I wait a full on school year, like 9 months, and I'm like, okay, there's 1 month. There's 3 months of Camp Castle left. There's 2 more months until we go to Camp Castle. There's 1 month. There's one, and then just to like hear that I waited all that time just to go on virtual. And I'm not saying virtual is bad, but like it's nowhere near the resemblance of what Castle was supposed to be in person. You know, that's nice water. Anyways, um, so yeah, so virtual. It was virtual 2020 summer. It was virtual this summer. So I think in sometime in the summer, we learned that Cassim was gonna do a special in person weekend. So I believe it was 2 weeks ago. It was in October. I know that was it in October. I believe yeah, it was in October. For a weekend, and this basically it just be one weekend, obviously instead of a full week, which I was already like bummed out. But at the same time, I'm gonna see some familiar faces I haven't seen in person. Cause like sometimes I do keep in contact with these kids and friends that I make during my stay at Kesem, but I don't really hang out with them because I don't have time to. I usually obviously hang out with my school friends and my friends who live near me. So I was so pumped up to see them. I know that I didn't have a long time. It was basically one day because like we got there Friday night, uh, and then we had all Saturday, and then we left Sunday afternoonish, like at 1 or 2. And I was so bummed out because of the fact how it was only one day. But like I said, for it was worth it because I could literally talk to these friends I haven't seen in 2 years. Yeah, it's been 2 years since I've seen these kids and friends. I don't know why I keep saying kids and friends. I'm just gonna call them friends. What the hell? But yeah, I haven't seen these people in 2 years. For all I care, I could just talk to these people for just the full on weekend and just catch up on stuff that we missed. So my other two friends are going. Shout out to Xavier and Zion. My parents are friends with them. I'm friends with them. Their mom, a really nice lady. Shout out to her. Um, but yeah, so we pick them up. We go to the drop off site. It's nice. It's a nice, beautiful, sunny day at the UPenn. We got met at like the UPenn Park. We wait for the bus. Yada yada yada. I made it, and we caught up with all these friends I haven't seen. I was so happy. Like I haven't. Cause like when I'm usually down and like say for example I'm in the middle of school and I'm like down, I'm like, oh, I hate this, I'm like bad thoughts. I usually think about my past years and kiss him, and I just it's such a good feeling when I'm there. So to see all these people I haven't seen in forever, including counselors who donate their time, there are a lot of new counselors this year, because the ones that graduated 2 years ago, well, the ones that 2 years ago graduated, so I was kind of bummed out that some of the counselors graduated that I haven't seen in a while, but there were a lot of new ones. And in a weird way to think about it, me personally, have been at Camp Kesem longer than these college students who volunteer at Camp Kesem. So in a way, obviously they're supposed to watch us and guide us, but in a way, I'm kind of helping them. I'm kind of like I mean, obviously, there's people who've been there longer than me, who have been the same year as me. But I'm talking about in my unit. Um, Also, side note, by the way, the camp is organized in units. There's a red unit, the youngest unit, which I think is like 6 to 8, maybe, which are like young. There's green unit, there's a blue unit, there's orange unit, and there's gold. And sometimes it's LITs, which are like kind of like counselors in training, basically. So gold is the oldest and red is the youngest. So I'm in gold because I think I have at the time of recording this, I have like I think 2 more years of camp left. Unfortunately, until unless I go to UPenn and become a counselor myself, I have 2 years of camp Kesem left, which is really sad to think about actually because 2 years of my Kesem experience were knocked off because they were both on virtual instead of in person. But yeah, so I'm pretty sure out of my unit, including the gold girls and the gold boys, I think I've been there the longest. So I'm kind of like the camp grandpa, the unit grandpa, if you want to think about that. Sometimes I'm not even joking. I say sometimes the counselors go to me to ask me information and ask me like questions basically. I how because I obviously I've been with these kids for years. I've been in the unit from unit to unit to unit. I know how they think. I know how they act. So I basically imply to the counselors, hey, by the way, if you want their attention, be more like chill about it. But at the same time, like use a little for like I basically I just help them. But these kids, the teenagers, the counselors, the kind these people are so freaking nice. I can't explain to them how like they're doing so much. They're like I don't think they know what they're doing to for us. Like they're thinking, oh yeah, we were just counselors, we're just watching out. It's our job, but they're doing way more than that. They're making camp. So much creativity and so much mind, so much creativity just goes into making camp, and then it pays off. So, anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. So we go to this bus, which because I've been in virtual for the past 2 years as well. I actually yeah, like I think actually no, I've been in virtual since well yeah since mid 2019. I've been on virtual, so I 2.5 through 3.5 years. I don't know. I can't do math basically. Um, so I go to the bus. I haven't been on a bus in a little while because obviously I'm virtual, so I don't need to go to a school bus. And stuff has never changed. That shit is beyond cramped. It is ridiculously cramped in there. Like I could barely fit my suitcase through the stuff. There was no U-Haul. Usually during in-person week camp, There's usually a U-Haul to carry all the campers and counselors, suitcases, bags, and pillows and whatnot. But probably since they thought, oh yeah, they're not gonna be as much kids as in person, we're not gonna do it. Well, do not underestimate Camp Kesem because holy shit, they brought a lot of suitcases. So I have a bad habit of overpacking because, like I said before, I'm basically staying there for a day. So I bought a lot of shit. But so my bag barely. I had to dedicate a whole ass seat to my suitcase. That's how big it was. But basically, for 2.5 hours, I believe, it felt like longer because holy shit, that long trip was so long. We were in a tight little space. I was trying to get a little nap in, but I couldn't. Also, I didn't have my phone with me, so I couldn't text my friends. I couldn't call my parent. Well, I had my Apple Watch, but like I couldn't play games, go on YouTube, TikTok, social media, and whatnot. So finally, after hours on that bus, we arrived at the camp, and when I say this camp is massive. I forgot the name of the campsite. It's in somewhere in Pennsylvania, I believe, by the Chesapeake Bay. But holy cow, this camp is massive. For years on end, we would usually go to the same camp called Camp Saginaw. Shout out to them too. It and I've been going there for years, all my years in camp. But like, holy cow, this place is bigger than Camp Saginaw. Like this place, and usually at Saginaw, we have obviously have the standard wooden cabins, kind of. I wasn't good. It wasn't good quality, but at the same time, it was. After a week, it slowly started to smell and look like shit in there. So much, not actual shit, obviously disgusting, but like there was sensible like basically brewing in there for a week. It smells like body odor, sweat, axe. And literally 1 year when I came back from camp, my mom had to like take my suitcase. She didn't want my suitcase in the house. She had to hose it down, wear gloves. It gets smelly after a while, unfortunately. But obviously we're there for a weekend, so it shouldn't be that bad, right? And usually these cabins are usually one floor, a bunch of beds, sometimes bunk beds, usually two showers and probably two stalls for bathing purposes. But my friend, shout out to Gianna or AKA Run the World. That's her camp nickname. By the way, we have nicknames at camp. We don't use our real names. My nickname is G Man because my middle name is Giovanni. So I just took the G out of that. But my friend Gianna, or Run the World, was there already. She got driven up there. She told me that these cabins or she said houses, and I was like, hold up, why do you say houses? Because literally on the way into the cabin when we were still on the bus, we saw all these big, like, beautiful buildings, look like houses, and like, holy shit, these are not cabins. And I forgot what it was. I forgot what they called it. So we got out. We had dinner, which I fucking hated it so much. It was, and I don't know you guys can't see me, but quote unquote spaghetti and meatballs. And if both of my nonas saw this, they would literally they would literally be mad at me for even thinking about eating it. The sauce was tomato sauce was just it was watery. The noodles were like doughy and were sticking together. The meatballs were but they did have garlic bread. The garlic bread was good, but it was disgusting. I had one bite of the spaghetti and I didn't eat it. So I had garlic bread, a banana, and I think ice cream for dinner that night. So not the best. But yes, but basically these cabins were 2 stories tall, two floors. This is not camping. This is glamping. Like we're living on a full on house. This is like I love Saginaw. Like no offense. All right, so here's my thought process when I first went there. Obviously, like I said before, out of my 8ish years of going to Camp Kesem, most of them were at Camp Saginaw. So Saginaw has a more sentimental value to me. Plus, I love it. The staff there, the food there is amazing. But the cabins are so so. But this new campsite has better cabins. So basically, here's my thought process. Basically, what I would do for the perfect camp is that I would have Camp Saginaw's food, but this new camp's cabins. If I could buy both of them, that's the perfect campsite. But since this was in September, this is because we this campsite is not Camp Kesem campsite. It's another camp. Like Kesem is borrowing the campsite from this camp. So because obviously this is in September instead of like August or June or July during the summer, obviously the camp is not there. So I think what I heard one of the admin told me is that originally, because this campsite we were supposed to go in 2020, but obviously that got called off to virtual. Um, we were supposed to get these shitty, rundown, small wooden cabins. Like these cabins are worse than Saginaw. Like these were like so small, and cramped. There's no bathroom or shower, and then you have to go in the middle of this little mini building in the middle of all the cabins. It's public. It's disgusting. And I hope if we go back there next year, I really seriously hope that we don't have those shitty cabins because I need those that little houses. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, I picked my spot, bunk bed. It was the man. I'm not gonna go into full detail. I'm just explaining the campsite, what Kessim is, because I'll be here for hours, describe my whole weekend. But so yeah, the go to bed the next day, do a bunch of fun activities and shit. Waking up nice and early because we only have a day, so we woke up at like 7:30. Had breakfast at 8. We on to activities. We did sports, arts and crafts, played Gaga. We did basketball, bunch of fun shit. And then before you know it, the day camp's over. But on the last day, when we were packing up and waiting for our buses to come back to pick us up, I started to feel like shit. And I was like, okay, so I don't think I had a sore throat then yet, but I was freezing. And me being a dumbass, like I said before, I usually wear shorts during the winter because I'm usually never that cold. I decided to wear shorts that day, but I did have my sweatshirt on. My head started to pound. I was freezing. I was sleepy. So then it got even worse on the bus. So and then my sore throat started to kick in. Um, I was freezing beyond belief, and of course what the counselors did is on the way there, since we still had no U-Haul with all of our suitcases and bags. They stuffed all the bags and suitcases all in the back of the bus. So my suitcase was under a bunch of shit, so I couldn't because I packed sweatpants, but of course it was in my suitcase under that, so I couldn't get my sweatpants. My friend was nice enough to lend me a blanket because I was freezing. I couldn't sleep on the bus again. Shocker, usual. My fucking tailbone was so bad. I couldn't like lay down. I couldn't sit up. So my fever got worse when I got home. I had so much trouble getting out of the truck because of my body was so like stiff and like I feel like it felt like I got pushed on a fucking mountain and my body was just that fucked. So I got in. My mom took my temperature. It was 103. I believe I'm saying that. I'm not sure the terminology for fucking thermostat shit. Not thermostat. I'm fucking retarded. I don't know the proper terminology for the temperature, but like I think it was 103. So obviously shit was not good. My head was hot. I was shivering so bad. I thought I was having a seizure because my body was stiff. It was shaking. My lips were purple. So I had a major headache, major fever, and my ass was just in bed. But the thing was though, is I had cold sweats. So basically, it'll go on and off again. For like 30 minutes, I'm freezing, shivering. I have sweatpants, my sweat jacket, long sleeve shirt. 30 minutes go by, I'm sweating like a pig. I have my shorts on, my short sleeve shirt on. And then for like basically, I want to say for a week, it was on and on and on and off again. And my throat was extremely bad. I barely drank or ate anything because it hurt so much to swallow stuff. Don't take that the wrong way. But yeah. So eventually my fever went down, my headache went down. And then basically I started having these red spots all over my face, my hands, and my feet. and I personally put one and one together. And I was like, the week before I went to camp, I babysat my cousin. Um, I babysat my cousin, my Nolan. Shout out to Nolan. Shout out to the mom, his mom and dad, um, Billy and Brittany, obviously. But I, 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 we babysat their cousin, my cousin, or AKA my godson. He's not actually my godson, but I love him. He loves me. So he had hand, foot, and mouth disease, which is usually a common disease for babies or like young infants, kind of. So he had spots all over. Um, he had spots all over his hands and feet, obviously, and I'm assuming his throat too. So you can obviously see all that he was in pain. We babysat him for like think 3 or 4 days. He slept over for a couple of days. Um, so and then I remember my mom as soon as he pulled up to my house babysitting Isaac. Oh yeah, he's sick. And the first question I asked was, is it spreadable? Can I get this? No, you can. So then I started recognizing all these spots on my hands and my feet. I'm like, oh yep, I have hand, foot, and mouth disease. All the and it which explains because I thought I had. By the way, I got a COVID test. I obviously don't have COVID. I I was like 100% believed that it was strep throat, but I got tested for that too, and that came back negative. So then I put one and one together. All these red marks on my hand and feet, that's also in my throat. That's why it hurts extremely when I eat something or drink something. So I was like, oh, great, 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 great. So, so yeah, I had to deal with that. I think I still, at the time of recording, they're still literally slowly starting to go away. These things take forever to get off. They're still on my feet. And I know I have horrendous luck in everything else, including video games and whatnot. But I'm so lucky enough to fucking get a kid's disease, a baby disease. This is my life. My life is perfect. you know, I'm the most luckiest man in the world. But but yeah, um, other than that, yeah, I got sick before actually on school. My camp custom experience. Um, Another thing I want to talk about very vividly because it's something personal about my mind. Is that my no, my dad's dad. Unfortunately, he's not doing good these past couple of months. He's been having a lot of issues. Organ failure. He has liquid in his stomach that he has to like get taken out. It's like bad liquid kind of. But he's been on and on off again. By the time of recording this, he's not doing good at all, unfortunately. So I've been dealing with that. My thoughts and prayers to go him, and it's been rough, especially for my father. Shout out to my father. He's doing his best. He's pulling through. He's my dad. What can I expect? Obviously, my nono did it for him, and he's doing it for me. But I know deep inside that like he's fighting. He's fighting. Shout out to my nono. I know he's not gonna listen to this, but like love you, nono. Hang in there. I'm sure you're a really tough guy. And that's an understatement. So you're definitely gonna kick this. You know what I mean? You're gonna beat it. But yeah, but yeah. So that's one of the personal stuff that's going on lately. So sorry about me not making any episodes this past month. These past couple of weeks and stuff. But yeah. So that's gonna be all for this episode. That's a nice 43-minute episode. Not bad, not bad. Not bad at all. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so sorry again. I promise I'm gonna start making episodes every Friday, and I am trying to plan to stream more often. That's something I've been meaning to do, because I feel like I kind of own it to you guys that I kind of um need to start uploading. Um, Make sure you guys follow all the social medias. Like I said before, if you're listening to this on YouTube, it should be in the description and link in the description to my flow page. It'll bring you to my social media podcast social media. I can't speak for shit. All podcast social medias. If you guys listen on SoundCloud or Spotify, it should be in the bio or the Yeah, it should be in the bio, I believe. I'm not really sure how Spotify works, but still, should be there. If you guys liked it, please like the video. Follow if you guys like I said before, follow the Spotify and SoundCloud. If you guys on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, ring the bell. It should right next to the subscribe button. There should be a little bell notification that indicates that every time I make a video or an episode, you guys will be notified instead of not knowing when I'm making new episodes. Um, yeah, if you guys make it this far, tell me, guys, tell me what is your favorite candy? Personally, like I said before, mine's are Kit Kats, Whoppers, and Milky Ways. And of course, I gotta put Hershey on there. Tell me what you guys' favorite candy is in the description, comments down below. But yeah, thank you guys very, very much. And as always, I am planning to stream this weekend. Hopefully, fingers fingers crossed. Um, thank you guys very much for listening. And as always, I'll see you guys this weekend if you're gonna pop on the stream. But if not, I'll see you guys next Friday. Peace.